There are three words that come to mind about this car. Front, wheel, drive. Now this is the Volkswagen Clubsport. The top of the range, in my opinion, Golf. You obviously have the R, you've also got the 50th anniversary, and of course, you have the black edition. The Clubsport is the top of the range GTI. Let me get my words right. It's the top of the range GTI. You have the GTI, then you have the Clubsport. And it has the same engine as both the Golf R and the GTI, but this has 296 brake horsepower, 30 more than the standard GTI. And despite having this puny little thing for a shifter, it's a great 7-speed auto. You also get a front diff as standard because again, 300 horsepower through the front axle isn't always a good idea. And the last GTI I had on the channel done the 0 to 60 in 5.9. And that is 60. And I'm happy to see that it did the 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. So 30 horsepower can save you nearly a whole second. Now, unlike the black edition, which many could just say has a lot of visual changes from the standard Golf R, the Clubsport not only has an extra 30 horsepower, it also has a revised diff, new software, and the dynamic chassis control. And something that I was quite surprised to see in here is when you go into modes and you go into sport, you have an option of special. And that special is, I don't know why I'm saying special like that, that special has a Nürburgring sign on it. And that means again that the dampers are gonna be in not a super soft setting, but they won't be in a hard setting, which is normally what happens when you whack something into sport. And for our UK roads, sport is too harsh. So, it's bang on. Now let's call it 300. 300 horsepower going through the front axle of a car alone could be quite sketchy, but again, this does have a diff, which gives you grip on the tyre that needs it the most. If you slow things right down, say 15 miles an hour, and you're in first gear and you smash the throttle, you do get a tiny bit with the traction in sport, meaning the wheels will slide more, but there's no real adjustment to be made in terms of the steering. You don't have to fight it to stop it from veering off to the right or to the left. It keeps itself nice and straight, which tells me with the right setup, 300 horsepower in a front wheel drive car is definitely doable. Now, of course, that is down to the diff, and like I said, 30 horsepower, it to most people isn't really noticeable, but I've driven both the Mark 8 GTI, the Mark 8.5 GTI, and I would be a liar if I told you that it didn't ask for more power. 265 over the previous 245 is great, but this feels spot on. It feels nearly as quick as a Golf R. The Golf R, of course, has an extra 30 on top of this, but if you had both on the B road, would you notice it? Definitely food for thought. Now, something I think I've noticed about Volkswagen is that they listen to their audience, because previously the haptic buttons were quite annoying. You rest your thumb there or over here at the 3 o'clock position, and you're not pressing the heated steering wheel button or any buttons that are over here. They've gone back to a standard button. It just works. Well done, like really well done. The next thing they need to do is get rid of this climate control system and just bring back some knobs, because we love knobs. Easy now. Something else that's quite cool is that they've got the spoiler from the Golf R, and it really does look the part. Come on. Now, I know everyone's going to say it might not be doing anything with the aero, but it's a Clubsport. You need something that makes it look like it's going faster. And let's talk about those stripes down there. Now, the go faster stripes that you can see just down here on the front wing and on the door, they're not really needed. But with this white, I think it's the Oryx white, don't quote me on it, you can, yeah, come on guys. It does all right. It does all right. Look at that. It's a great little bit of kit. Now, something I'll always say about Volkswagen, and specifically the Golf, is that it hasn't changed, and that's not a bad thing. I'm going to say it, BMW 1 Series, the equivalent, I don't know what it looks like, but this, you compare it to the oldest Golf in the book, there is so much about it that is still here. Not much, not loads, but enough to know that it's a Golf. So my question, why on earth would you get a Clubsport? Your mates have got faster cars than you, maybe. You're a big GTI fan and you want to have top of the range performance, then hell yeah. And in my opinion, I'd rather have this than a Golf R. Not that the Golf R isn't a better all-rounder, all-year car. Yeah, all-wheel drive, 4Motion, the lot. It has it any time of the day, point and shoot, yes. But four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive cars have their place. But for those people that really love the drive and really do enjoy going out on the track, most importantly, then a front-wheel drive car with 300 horsepower, give or take a few ponies, adaptive suspension, meaning you can drive it to the track and back from the track without any issues. This is a win. So there we have it, guys. The Golf GTI Clubsport, my first impressions, an amazing car. Again, I need to start getting these cars out on the track because these things are a beast, and driving them on the road just leaves you wanting more, but obviously in a good way, never a bad way with something like this. But there's only so much you can do before freaking PC plods along. It's crazy. And adaptive suspension, the DCC, is on point. Again, you're not going to be trying to drive like you're Lewis Hamilton on your favourite B road, but you do want to go out there and have the confidence in this car, and it does. It doesn't want to kill you, and it's super buttery smooth. So fair play to Volkswagen. Even coming out of a corner there, guys, tells me everything I need to know about this car. It definitely has a place. If you own a GTI and you haven't driven one of these, be careful, because when you do, you'll be on We Buy Any Car, or you'll be phoning up your local dealer and getting a part exchange. So yes, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see all of your beautiful faces when I finish sending this absolute gem of a beast. God bless.